Joined by Azran Osman Rani, he's Chief Executive of AirAsia X. That's the low-cost and long-haul arm of Malaysia's AirAsia. Azran Osman Rani, thanks a lot for joining us. Well, you got these surcharges you put in place, I believe, yesterday. Does it really cover your excess costs?
Yes. Well, it does in a big way, but of course you never know where fuel prices are going to head over the next few months, so it does give us a bit of a cushion.
You must have also hedged at a certain price as well. What sort of hedges do you have in place and at what price?
Well, yes, we do hedge, probably not as substantially as other airlines, because for us the biggest strategy is being very distinctive in being the world's most efficient fuel volume consumer rather than hedging, because no airline in the world has achieved any sustainable competitive advantage from a fuel hedging policy. In fact, fuel hedges don't even reduce fuel prices. It only benefits the banks. But we've been able to achieve, for example, a rate of 2.18 litres on our A330 aircraft, and that's probably close to 50% less in terms of per seat per 100 kilometers flown than legacy carriers. And we're continuing to focus on that, where we can see a sustainable difference versus hedging policies.
Of course, it hits you guys more because of the fuel prices, even, or should I say fuel is an even bigger cost as a proportion to your overall cost base.
On the other hand, though, in terms of, for example, fuel is about 1.3, 1.5 US cents per available seat kilometer for us, and that's literally almost half the cost of the same seat kilometer for legacy carriers. So when fuel prices go up, we may go from 1.5 to 2 cents, but another airline might see an increase from 2.5 to 4 cents. So in that sense, the effect on a per passenger basis is much less for us, and that's why even though we've introduced fuel surcharges, it's still a fraction of the rates that other airlines have introduced.
Now, you need to grow, and you plan to grow. You've ordered extra aircraft, I believe 3 Airbus A330s earlier this year. But you need the money to expand even more than that, and that, of course, leads me on to an initial public offering. I mean, Tony Fernandez, overall, of course, the CEO of AirAsia, your mother company, is saying an airline cannot grow capital without being public. So when do you list?
Well, we're in the midst of going through very thick proposal documents from advisors and underwriters, so we're expecting to, probably look at the first half of next year in terms of a listing time frame. It all depends on how capital market conditions are, but there's clearly a lot of growth opportunity, and we've already seen that in the first quarter this year, where we've grown top line and passenger volumes by 56% compared to the same quarter last year, and that's probably more than double the growth rate as other LCCs in the region.
Yeah, where would you look to list, though? Would it be in Malaysia, or would you look, let's say, to Hong Kong or London even?
Well, I think realistically that the primary listing base would probably still be Kuala Lumpur. We are evaluating an option to have a dual listing in another exchange, whether that's Hong Kong or New York or London. Those are all being evaluated, but it all depends whether there really is an investor pool that we wouldn't be able to tap if we were only listed in Kuala Lumpur, and that remains to be proven.
What are we talking about in terms of your revenues now in these challenging times? How are you seeing them? What sort of load factors are you getting? And are you actually making money right now?
Sure. Yes, we are. In fact, our load factor for the first quarter this year, we closed it at 81%, which was 6 percentage points ahead of the same quarter last year. And every single route that we flew first quarter last year, compared to this year, has seen a significant increase. So load factors have been strong. Top line has been growing proportionately at 56%. The profits are coming in. So there's really a lot of growth, especially here in Asia Pacific. And there's a structural reason for that because of the geographic. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to get some of the specifics here, because you say that you're seeing this growth in the number of seats being occupied in the first quarter. Of course, the first quarter doesn't include Japan, does it? How hard has your business been hit by the tragedy there in the country?
Well, we started Japan in the 1st of December last year, so our Q1 numbers have included Japan. And yes, demand did reduce substantially after the March 11th earthquake and tsunami and what followed. But interestingly, we've now seen load factors and passenger numbers recover towards the end of April and early May, back to sort of the 75% load factor level. So we definitely see Japan having turned the corner, and we're very eager to apply for additional rights to add more flights to Tokyo and hopefully Osaka as well.
Looking at daily flights?
If we can get approvals from the government, absolutely, we'd love to fly daily.
Azran, Osman, Rani as well, there's a rather famous British entrepreneur which is going to be taking the skies with you soon, I believe. It's a man with a beard, a British entrepreneur. When is he actually going to be flying with you guys dressed as an air stewardess?
Well, he was meant to be on our AirAsia X London to Kuala Lumpur flight this past weekend. Unfortunately, because of the royal wedding, no one could simply get any hotel rooms in London. So we've deferred that to early July, and hopefully that'll give more of an opportunity for people to participate in that exciting event.
Here's Richard Branson, of course, and apparently he's already shaved his legs, Azran.
No, not yet. That's going to be a special occasion. We're going to make sure we make full use of that experience.
It's an experience, yes, some would rather avoid, but never mind. Thanks for that, Azran, Osman Rani, AirAsia X's Chief Executive.